Let's get our 60th anniversary studio tour on the road. To help kick us off, here is our master of ceremonies, the host of the Tonight Show. You know him, you love him. It's Mr. Jimmy Fallon. Take it away, Jimmy.
Hi, I'm welcome aboard the world's famous studio tour. Maybe you're thinking, why the tux? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today, we pay tribute to Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why the studio tour is world famous, like no other.
And what is more fun and exciting than a little history lesson of the Universal lot? So on March 15th, 1915, our founder, Carl Laemmle, he's up on your screen right now, inviting the public into the studio to watch silent movies being made. Guests could walk from set to set and marvel at the new technology involved in the filmmaking. But with the invention of sound and the need for quiet on set, the original walking tour ended. However, in the 1960s, under the leadership of company chairman Lou Wasserman and executives Al Dorskin and Jay Stein, the idea of driving a tour by studio returned when the Gray Line bus tours originating in Hollywood made a stop at our gates. And on July 15, 1964, the first of our Red and White Candies Ride Glamour trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the Universal lot, and the world-famous studio tour was born. We started with 2 drivers, 2 guides, and 1 ticket seller working out of a trailer on Mission Boulevard. From there, the studio tour expanded with fantastic, one-of-a-kind Hollywood elements like the burning house and the rock slide, which were in this area of the lot back in the 1970s and 80s. Now folks, you may have noticed you are on board a very special tram today because you are on board one of our newest versions of our tour vehicle, the electric tram, as we continue our commitment to creating a zero-emission studio tour fleet. Electric trams get their power from wireless inductive charging paths, just like the ones your cell phones have, only much larger. And like an electric car, we have regenerative braking, so every time we're going downhill during this tour, we're also going to be building a charge. We're no strangers to innovation when it comes to our tour vehicles. We started with those glamour trams back in 1964, and in 1983, we upgraded to our super trams, allowing us to carry more guests and experience more thrills. In 2000, we added onboard video, turning our tram into a movie theater on wheels. But we are currently heading on down into our front lot. We are between our movie and television studio and our theme park. So over on your right-hand side is actually the backside of our lower lot. That in particular is the backside of the Jurassic World ride. But this is also where our Super Nintendo World is, home to Mario and Luigi, the stars of our biggest film of 2023, the Super Mario Brothers movie. But this is also where studio tour guests had a chance to explore facets of Hollywood not accessible to the public before 1964. They could visit the office of Oscar-winning costume designer Edith Head or the dressing room of Lucille Ball. They could also drive through the prop warehouse on the trail.
Look at the back lot. From Mario World. The back of
it was a popular stop on our tour that included a trip to our special effects stage and had a video co-host in Robert Wagner. But over on your left-hand side, folks, you are seeing just a few of our great sound stages here on our lot. Now you must be wondering, what is a sound stage? Well, a sound stage is essentially a giant empty warehouse. It is a blank canvas for productions to come in and dress up however they like. They have full control. And these sound stages in particular on our lot have been used for a ton of great productions over the years, including movies like our Best Picture Oscar winner Oppenheimer. And these sound stages on your left-hand side have been used to film TV shows like Hacks on Max starring Gene Smart and Hannah Einbinder, and they were used to film the 3rd season of the Peacock original series Bel-Air starring Murray Banks and Holly Showalter.
We're leaving the big mark behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. How? Well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we can create any kind of environment.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination can take you, even to a palatial mansion in Bel-Air.
When we film Bel-Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who.
Or what?
We'll see you in the studio tour.
Now currently over on your left-hand left-hand side, you're going to see our Soundstage 14. Soundstage 14 has been used to film movies like Flower Drum Song, The Cat in the Hat, Jurassic Park, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This was also used to film Back to the Future Part 2. This is where they had Marty McFly's house. But also coming up on your left-hand side, you're going to see our post-production offices here on our lot. Now there are 3 phases to a production. We have pre-production, we have the actual filming, and then we have post-production. Post-production is when we'll take all of that great footage that we got during filming and edit it all together so that you can watch it at home and on the big screen. And coming up on your right-hand side, you're going to see a few more of our great sound stages. These sound stages have been used to film TV shows like Netflix's Never Have I Ever, One Day at a Time. They're also currently being used to film season 2 of the Peacock original series based on a true story. It stars Katie Cuoco and Chris Messina as they try and start a true crime podcast. If you haven't checked it out yet, highly recommend it. It is super, super fun, and you have just enough time to catch up before season 2 comes out. But also out on your right-hand side, you're going to see my good friends, the Minions. Hey, guys. And we have the creator of the Minions, Chris Melinandri, to tell you a little bit about the production bungalows coming up on your left-hand side.
In the early days of the studio, these bungalows were used as dressing rooms to the stars of Hollywood's golden age. Now, they're used as offices where some of Hollywood's top directors, writers, and producers work their magic to get a production ready, including my company, Illumination. At Illumination, we've made some of the most successful animated films in box office history, including Despicable Me, The Lorax, The Secret Life of Pets, Minions, Sing, The Grinch, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. Our team is hard at work again as we launch our next film, Despicable Me 4. I know you love your dada. Go on, say it.
Yes, of course he loves you. He just doesn't show it on his face or with his body language.
We've had some really good sequences in Despicable Me.
That was Mandy.
The heist of Honey Badger is now officially.
Oh my God, it was 100%.
What it comes down to is the emotional through line, and I believe that that's why these movies have stayed in people's hearts.
Now, folks, over on your left-hand side, we are passing by those production bungalows that Chris was talking about. That is where all that great pre-production happens. So things like getting the right story, the right script, the right cast, all that will start right over here. And here at Universal, we are very, very fortunate to have many great production companies housed right here on our lot, including Pascal Pictures, which has brought us films like Challengers, Spider-Man No Way Home, and one of my personal favorites, which is Greta Gerwig's Little Women. We also have Mark Platt Productions, a production company behind movies like La La Land, Dear Evan Hansen, Legally Blonde, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. They're also bringing us their brand new Wicked movie coming out later this fall on November 22nd. But currently over on your left-hand side, you're seeing 2 of our newest sound stages here on our lot. Sound stages 25 and 26. Now, you may notice that these sound stages look a little different than the ones we were just passing by, and that is because these sound stages have offices and dressing rooms in the front and the sound stages over in the back. But inside of these sound stages, they film a ton of great TV shows, including Lopez vs. Lopez, which stars George Lopez and his real-life daughter, Maya Lopez. And they're also being used to film a brand new TV show coming soon to NBC called St. Dennis Medical. Stars David Allen. We're all
That's what she just said. They filmed it here. This is where they would come work at.
But those sound stages were first used back in 2016 for NBC's production of Hairspray Live. They started inside of those sound stages and then later transitioned over to our Metropolitan sets, which we are getting ready to head on into right now. But our Metropolitan sets have been used to look like many different cities over the years, including New York, Chicago, London. They were even Paris for Billie Eilish's performance for Amazon Prime Day back in 2021. They were Baltimore for Hairspray Live, and they were downtown Boston Washington for Ted, which is the prequel series to the Ted films. But currently over on your left-hand side, folks, you're going to see there is this very big wall here. Now, I know this looks like a little bit of nothing, but this is the backside of what we would call a facade. Facade is French for front, and in movie making, we do this thing where we only build what the camera needs to see. So since we don't need to see the insides of every single building on screen, we don't actually build them. A lot of those buildings that you see on TV look like this in the back. But as we get ready to head on into our metropolitan sets, here is our resident New Yorker to welcome us on in.
We're about to cross the imaginary boundary onto the back lot, where we have exterior sets for many outdoor scenes.
33.
Over the last 60 years, studio tour guests have seen these locations turned into big cities, quiet suburbs, even that guy's hometown.
Big city?
Yeah, that guy. For countless movies and TV shows. This is Universal's Metro Sets.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Now, there's quite a bit of traffic on our lot today. That's because they are filming The Voice on our lot today. You smell all that great food that's catering right over there. They're feeding everybody. The whole crew needs to be fed to make sure a production runs smoothly. But as we head on into our metropolitan sets, as you take a look on out to your right-hand side, you'll see that our metro sets are built to look like the concrete jungle. But these sets are made mostly of chicken wire, plaster, and plywood. And that is for a few reasons. We need these sets that you see out to your right-hand side to be malleable enough so that if we need to change them out for whatever reason, whether it's something as small as changing out the signage on a window or the color of a door, or something as extravagant as changing out the exteriors completely, we can do so with ease. But our metropolitan sets have been used for quite a few things over the years. You may have seen it most recently in Netflix's newest film, A Family Affair, starring Joey King, Nicole Kidman, and Zac Efron. They used a bit of our metro sets in that film. And they've also been used for quite a few superhero movies over the years, including Captain America, The First Avengers, starring Chris Evans, Spider-Man 2, starring Tobey Maguire, as well as the amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield. Now, all we need is Tom Holland. We have that final Spider-Man Infinity Stone. But many people have also showcased their superhero moves in the reality competition show American Ninja Warrior, which also films right on our New York street. And from superheroes to superstars, we've had quite a few musicians film music videos out here on our metro sets, including artists like Jungkook from BTS, who filmed his music video 7 out here, Jisoo from Blackpink filmed her music video Fly out here, Lady Gaga has filmed multiple music videos across our lot, they filmed her Edge of Glory music video out here at our metro sets, Michael Bublé, Jennifer Lopez. I mean, the list goes on and on, folks, but it looks like we are leaving our not-so-concrete jungle behind, and we're heading on over to a different kind of jungle. We're heading back to Skull Island. But also at the top of this hill, you are going to get to see a piece of studio tour history. You're going to see our collapsing bridge and our runaway train. The collapsing bridge was a mechanical effect that the trains used to cross. The hydraulic support beams would split, and the bridge would seem to collapse. And the runaway train was originally located over on our western set. It used to hurtle toward the tram and come to a screeching halt. But both of these are retired effects that were made for the studio tour 50 years ago. So they're going to be on your right, they're going to do a little turn, and then they're going to be on your left-hand side. But as we get ready to head on back to Skull Island, everybody, just a few friendly safety reminders. Please remember to remain seated with your arms and legs inside of the tram at all times. Hold on tight to those belongings, hats, keys, sunglasses, big donuts, butter beers, regular beers, your cell phones especially. It gets very, very bumpy in here. And if you lose anything in here, I cannot get out of the tram. We cannot guarantee that those items will return to you safe. If you haven't already, now's a great time to move any of those small children into the center of your room. Make sure everybody's safe here today. And last but not least, folks, please don't flash.
So like when you can? Because I'm sure they're going to be sold out if we try and get them.
Okay, everyone, now's a great time to
Order them online. I'm not sure.
No, let's go with you first.
Yeah.
Order them online.
That's how I was saying.
I don't have 3D glasses.
But it stays open here.
I don't have 3D glasses.
What? You don't?
I dropped them earlier.
Here, baby. Yes, ma'am. Do you have one? Oh, thank you. You got it?
Smells grassy.
Smells grassy. Great job with the smell. Oh, Oh shoot! Oh, I got my bag. Get yours. Oh my! Oh my! He's over there on the left. Ow! Ow! Oh my gosh! Oh! Oh! Oh!
That was
Wow!
360.
That was so realistic.
Creature survives slow in Ireland.
One. Did you watch it? It looked a lot more realistic. I don't know if it was the tram. Or it felt a lot more realistic.
No, Mom, it wasn't.
Was? Dad slept through that whole thing.
Now, that was brought to
He
us
slept-
by
he
director
slept through
Peter
the whole thing.
Jackson and the team over at Weta Effects.
Wait, Dad,
would it just be us
The
three?
largest 3D
I
screen
don't
in
know.
the world.
Difficult to get everybody
Weta
up
Effects
away
are the
and out.
award-winning visual effects
Oh.
masterminds behind some
Okay.
of your
I
favorite
thought we
movies
could,
and
but
TV
it doesn't
shows,
matter.
including Avatar,
Next thing
Avatar
you
Way
know,
of
well, I
Water,
can
which
ask
is
them
what they
again, but
won
they didn't
their
see it. Like
last
you
and
said,
second
thinking
Academy Award for.
But I didn't
They
ask
also
them
worked
if they
on
won.
the Lord of
Don't
the
ask him.
Rings
Let me-
trilogy,
Mandy, let me think about it.
TV shows, including Disney's Obi-Wan, HBO's
Mandy,
Game of Thrones,
I
they
said
did
don't
the
ask him. Let me
Dragons
talk to your
TV
dad.
show, and they also worked on The Last of Us, starring Pedro Pascal. But folks, we're going to be heading past our metro set once more on our way over to our next destination.
Pedro Pascal
and
what?
Since we just went through King Kong, I'm going to let Jack Black tell you a little bit more about our old King Kong attraction that used to be right here.
Jackie. Bowser's telling us stuff.
And self-action. Did you know the Metro sets were once the home to Hollywood's biggest star? Right here is where the original studio tour King Kong attraction resided from 1986 until 2008. He stood 30 feet tall and weighed in at 13,000 pounds. Over the years, millions of guests got to meet King Kong face to face as he shoved the tram. So close you could feel his hot banana breath. Is that it? I believe that's my last line, and then the tram moves on to the next thing.
Unfortunately, we must, Jack. But just up ahead on your right-hand side, you are going to get an up-close and personal look at our gorgeous monster mural done by local artist Tristan Eaton. Tristan Eaton got his start as a graffiti artist here in Los Angeles, and he did the mural that you're about to see out on your right-hand side entirely with spray paint, and he did it freehand, which is just incredibly impressive. But this monster mural that you're about to see features just a few of our classic Universal monsters. We love our monsters here. And the monsters featured on this mural include the Wolfman, the Gillman,
There's the food again.
We also
The voice. They're filming the voice.
and his bride, of course. And last but
the
definitely
voice?
not
It's
least,
a
you heard
show.
Dracula.
Talk show.
But
Kind of,
I'm
yeah.
going to let Tristan Eaton talk a little bit more about this mural as we're passing by.
An instrumental part of the process of designing these murals was getting to go to the Universal Archive. Going there, I got to see in person props from movies, photos from magazines, illustrations from those movie posters, all this stuff. I had an early affection for movie monsters. I was always fascinated by the magic behind making movies, but I fell in love with zombie movies.
Hey, get Daddy.
monster
He's gonna
movies
fall.
As a young kid.
He's gonna fall. Wake him up.
My world that I come from is skateboarding, graffiti, and comic books. You always have to pay homage to where that art form started. And for me, it started with painting stuff in the street illegally. Tagging billboards and dumpsters. Without that, I that never would be here. It's written like this.
How is that so sleepy?
Now folks, over
These
on
tours always
your
put him to
left-hand
sleep.
side, you're going to see this very large body of water. That is what we call our Hollywood Ocean. And here in 1973, we added an attraction to our studio tour called the Parting of the Red Sea. It's inspired by the classic film The Ten Commandments, a Paramount picture. And the star of the movie, Charlton Heston, came in part of the waters for our guests. He claimed our travel driver right through and give everybody on board a sealed view.
Overloaded. Tell them they can walk on the water as part of the tour.
What?
Now, our Hollywood Ocean has also been used for quite a few other things over the years, including one of our monster movies, A Creature from the Black Lagoon. This movie celebrates its 70th anniversary this year. It's part of our long-lasting legacy of monster movies, starting with Dracula all the way back in 1931 to now, with us getting ready to open up a Dark Universe at Universal Epic Universe next year in Orlando. But speaking of those monster movies, we are now getting ready to head on over to our Little Europe sets. And our Little Europe sets are very special because they are the birthplace of the Universal Monster movie. But these are called our Little Europe sets for a very obvious reason. That reason being, we're able to dress them up to look like any country in Europe that we would like, whether that be France, Italy, Germany. They've also been used as a few fictional countries over the years, including the country of Genovia for Disney's Princess Diaries 2, The Royal Engagement. These are the streets where a young Abigail Breslin tells Princess Mia Thermopolis that she's too little, too piccola. But you may also recognize them as the streets of the afterlife in NBC's The Good Place, starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrike, are dead.
Right there, the yoga shop.
The afterlife? I have never ever seen this.
You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Going back very briefly to Princess Diaries 2, that movie was produced by the legendary Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston really believed in empowering women's stories, and one of the ways that she did that was by producing female-led films, like Princess Diaries and other movies like The Cheetah Girls. But Whitney Houston also used these sets back in 1997 for Disney Presents Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring herself and Brandy. If you remember at the beginning of the film when they were singing about how the prince is giving a ball, that was filmed all out here on our Little Europe sets. Now these sets have also been used for quite a few other films over the years, including movies like Netflix's The School for Good and Evil. A sliver of our Little Europe sets was used as the town of Gabaldon for that movie. That movie was also directed by former Universal tour guide Paul Feig, and they've also been used for Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean. And they used these sets as both Tortuga and Port Royale. And they also use them in a very unique way. So these are what we would call exterior sets. They're outside. Typically scenes out here would be filmed outside. But Disney used these sets to look like the interior of a tavern for Pirates of the Caribbean. So they airlifted in a little sheet, and that sheet had chandeliers attached to it, so it would look like it was inside of a tavern, but they were actually filming outside completely. And these sets have also been used for quite a few TV shows over the years, including Gilmore Girls. If you have any Gilmore Girls fans on board, when they go to Paris in Gilmore Girls, they don't actually go to France, they come right here. And they were also used for the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They filmed a lot of flashback scenes, in particular of the character Angel. Now, Angel was a vampire, but he was not the first vampire to film out here. That, of course, was Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi, who played just one of the many movie monsters we've had out on our Little Europe sets, including Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, the Mummy, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Phantom of the Opera. I mean, the list goes on and on. But take a look at what our Little Europe sets look like back in the days of those original Universal Monster movies, and what they look like in black and white.
Performing indoors.
we just saw Frankenstein a few times in that little montage, and Frankenstein was played by a man named Boris Karloff. But he was not the person who was originally cast in that role. Originally, the role of Frankenstein was supposed to go to Bela Lugosi, the man who played Dracula. But due to the fact that Frankenstein doesn't really have many spoken lines, Bela Lugosi didn't really want to play him. So therefore, Boris Karloff was cast. And he was originally hired on the movie already, but as an extra. So you never know where your next job might lead you to. But speaking of Bela Lugosi, and speaking of Dracula in particular, they filmed 2 versions of the movie Dracula at the exact same time over on our little Europe sets. They filmed an English language version and a Spanish language version at the same time, because at that time they didn't have the technology to dub over things in another language. If you wanted a movie in another language, you had to film it in that language. So that was exactly what they did. The English cast would come in the mornings and then film all of their scenes, and then the Spanish cast would come in the evenings and film all of their scenes. And many people often argue that the Spanish version of the film is better because of this fact. They didn't have to worry about testing out what scenes worked and what didn't, because they already watched the English cast figure it out for them in the morning. So they just got to observe, and then they got to do the exact same thing, but just a little bit better. I'll show you a little side-by-side between the 2 movies. You can form your own opinion, but there's something about the Spanish version of the film that just has a little bit of an edge to it. Now you see they are very, very similar, but there is something a little bit spookier about the Spanish version of the film that I think makes it just a little bit better. But obviously, our Universal monster movies are so iconic, but they're iconic for many different reasons. One of those reasons is because they helped save our studio back in the day. Because monster movies were so cheap and easy to make, they really turned out a lot of them at the exact same time. And they were so cheap and easy to make because all of those monster movies, all those monster intellectual properties were up for the public domain. So everyone was able to make those movies and make them very quickly without having to worry about getting the rights to things. But here are a few famous filmmakers to talk a little bit more about just how iconic those movies are.
Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Hunchback, the Invisible Man, the opera, classic. That Frankenstein image, flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by it. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
It's still ringing in our memories now. We love it.
That was creepy.
They're horror films.
Ah, spiders. Ugh. That's what is considered one?
What do you mean? No, these are a lot of different ones, baby.
So they're bringing all the horror films into this one.
Yeah.
all monsters are villains, but most villains are monsters. So take a look at a few universal villains we've had over the years.
Nero. Mummy. Chino.
Bad boy now.
Those aren't monsters. Those are villains, James, not the monsters.
I'll make me be a bad guy. Come on.
That's where it's from. Say hello to my little friend. Hey, we saw that.
Oh yeah. Hook.
Now where's the hero? Say hello to my little friend. Look at that one.
And what's a villain without a hero to take him down?
Why is my leg wet?
Closed it.
I do know that we're brothers. I know that we're free. Along with
I hate this.
we must stay true to ourselves.
Ray, I ain't gonna beat around the bush with you. You going blind. The doctor's saying nothing they can do, so we gotta do it ourselves. People are dying, Scott. You've got document after document here, right under your nose. It says why you had someone in the water.
I've been locked up in for 30 years.
I want to go to Maine. And I'll die there if I have to.
Say hello to my little horse.
And folks, I do want to take a quick moment to let y'all know that we are approximately at the halfway mark of our tour. So just a friendly reminder to everyone to please remember to remain seated at all times. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull that red cord to get my attention, and I will be back to assist you. But please do remain seated on the tram. Now folks, it is very, very hot and sunny today. So, you know what the perfect point of action is? To head to the beach, right? So, we are getting ready to head on in to Amity Island. Now, full transparency, I did hear that there was a little bit of a shark infestation here the other day, but it was the best that I could do on short notice, you know, like 4th of July is this week, every beach is pretty crowded, but this place, underrated, undiscovered, probably because of the sharks, but don't worry about it. I've already sent out my good friend George up the water to make sure everything is all clear for us. George is a professional. He and I are supposed to be hanging out later tonight. We're thinking of going to the movies. We're 4 AMC A-listers, and we love the Nicole Kidman pre-show. If you want me to recite the whole thing for you, I can do it. But, oh no. So, that's not George, that's a shark. George?
Say hello to
Buddy?
my shark.
Are you good? You got it? Do you need help? Somehow our brain does not feel good in a place like this. But we move on. So it's too late for George. It's not too late for us. So we're gonna hide behind these red barrels. Yeah, those look shark-proof.
Is that the shirt for dogs?
Yeah.
Poor George. You never knew.
You just met Bruce the shark, everybody. Does anybody happen to know what kind of shark that was? If you know, you can yell it out. Great white? That is a great guess. It is actually plastic. But Bruce is one of the hardest working team members here on our lot. 365 days a year, rain or shine. Bruce shows up every single day, and he always gives it his all. The same cannot be said of the mechanical shark that they used to film Jaws. That shark sunk to the bottom of the ocean on its very first day of filming. Talk about a bad first impression, right? But Jaws is one of our most classic attractions here on our lot. It's one of my childhood favorites and still one of my favorites to this day. But from one classic attraction to the next, we're now getting ready to head on over to our Old Mexico sets. And to welcome us on into Old Mexico is none other than today's show co-host, weather anchor, and a national treasure, Mr. Al Roker. Take it away, Al.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather affects a creator, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968. Welcome to the only part of the flash flood with a 100% chance of rain. The flash flood.
Thank you so much, Al. Now, folks, so we are putting on a little bit of a rainstorm for y'all. We already have that thunder and lightning going. Now, all we need now is that rain. And action. Now, we're adding in all these elements so that you get the full rainstorm experience. However, thunder is something that we would typically add in post-production. That's because when we are filming a scene, we don't want anything that would drown out the voices of our actors. But I think that's enough rain for now. So on the count of 3, we're all gonna yell cut, okay? 1, 2, 3. Cut! Huh. Let's try it one more time, a little bit louder, folks. Everybody, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Cut!
Oh no. Oh no. No. That's not what I meant. First 3 and 4, you might want to look out. Oh boy.
It's the great. I got one. It's the great white.
That was our
plastic
flash
shark.
flood, everyone. It's been
Great
so
white
many
plastic
movies,
shark.
TV shows, even music videos over the years. Lady Gaga used that set for her music video Judas. It was also used in the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Academy Award nominee Paul Giamatti. And you know what? Sometimes the road to the Oscars is through a flash flood, just as Paul.
Hey, he looks familiar, like from Home Alone.
No, he's not from Home Alone, babe.
Now, if you've never seen Big Fat Liar, it is currently streaming on Netflix. This is a great movie to watch. After you've taken our studio tour today, you're going to see a lot of the things that you see on our tour in that movie. So if you haven't watched it yet, now's going to be a great time to do so. When you get home, put on Netflix, put on Big Fat Liar, and thank me later. But we are leaving our old Mexico sets behind, and we're now heading on into the Wild Wild West, y'all. Welcome to 6 Points. Now, these are called our 6 Point sets because back in the early days of our studio, we were able to film on 6 streets all at the same time. Now, that was because it was the silent film era. They weren't recording any noise at that time. No sound, no dialogue. So as many productions as possible could be going on at the exact same time, and there would be virtually no interference. In fact, a set back then was probably louder than a typical set is nowadays because everyone was trying so hard to yell over each other to make sure that their cast and crew could hear the instructions that they needed to know in order to film their scenes. But if you take a look out to your left and your right-hand side, do me a favor and take a look at some of these doors. You might be able to notice some of them are very, very short and some of them are very, very tall. And that is for a very specific reason. We use those doors to do something called forced perspective. So during the days of our Western films, we put all of our cowboys, all of the men, in front of the very, very short doors so that they would look even bigger, more tough, more macho. And we would put all the women in front of the very, very large doors so that they could be damsels in distress. But our Western sets have been used for quite a few things over the years, including movies like Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Miss Barbie herself, Margot Robbie. They've also been used for HBO's Westworld. This was used as the town of Pariah. And you may have seen them most recently in the trailers for Ty West's newest film, Maxine, which is the sequel to X and Pearls from Mia Goth. But over on your right-hand side, you're also going to get to see something very special, the backside of our 6 Point sets. Now you're also going to see there's a whole lot of stuff just sitting out here. I know this looks a little bit like garbage, but I promise you it's not. These are all called props. A prop is essentially any object that an actor will interact with on screen. And that could be a whole number of things. This is just a few examples of what that might look like. But as we're passing by our props, we're also going to be passing by Amity Island once more. We're not going in a second time, but I am going to let director Steven Spielberg tell you a little bit more about the making of our Jaws attraction as we pass by once more.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the trap. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean.
Now, folks, if you take a look out to your right, you'll see this very lovely house. That is our chicken ranch. That is a practical set, which means we can film both inside and outside. The counterpart to that would be a facade, like the half house that is ranch, which is also very appropriate because that's about as much as we can afford here in Los Angeles. But over on your behind the States is where Marty McFly lived in the Back to the Future trilogy, and those signs are replicas of the original props that were made for the 30th anniversary of the first film. But speaking of Back to the Future, those movies were produced by director Steven Spielberg, who also directed movies like Jaws, Jurassic Park, and one of my personal favorites, which is the remake of West Side Story starring Rachel Zegler. But we've had a very long-standing relationship with Steven Spielberg over the years. We're driving up Steven Spielberg Drive right now. But he has some very funny stories about how he used to come onto this lot as a kid that I'm going to let him explain a little bit more in detail.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but Most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage. And I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Now, we didn't quite recommend doing what Steven Spielberg did, but it is still a fun story nonetheless. It is a great full circle journey for him to have started by sneaking onto our lot and now having his movies memorialized here. So we are currently arriving here at the sets of Steven Spielberg's film War of the Worlds. When you take a look on out, you're going to see that is indeed a real airplane. It was a retired 747 that was purchased just for the film for $60,000, but it cost $200,000 for them to deconstruct this plane into small enough pieces in order to transport it here safely. Now that was because it was too large. It wasn't going to fit on the highway under the overpass, so they had to make sure it was broken down into these smaller pieces in order to be transported here safely. Now this is another example of what we would call a practical set, and that it is a real tangible set. It's not some big blue screen or some big green screen. This was a set that the actors were really able to interact with. And this practical set also utilizes those facades we saw earlier. So those houses that you see out on your left-hand side are not real houses, they're just the fronts of houses. But despite the fact that this set is only in the film for about 3 or 4 minutes, they really used it to their advantage. So when they were filming War of the Worlds, one of the stars of the movie, Dakota Fanning, was only about 10 or 11 years old, and they blindfolded her before they brought her onto set that day so that what they would capture on camera would be her first genuine reaction to the set that you just saw. But also out on your right, you're going to see this iconic house. This is the home of Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho, one of the oldest standing sets in Hollywood and one of the most iconic sets in horror movie history. But speaking of Hollywood icons, coming up on your right-hand side, you're going to see our official scale replica of the Hollywood sign. Now folks, if you would like a photo with this Hollywood sign, now is going to be the perfect time to do so. We are going to have you disembark our tram in just a few moments and step onto our lot in celebration of our 60th anniversary of our studio tour. Now, folks, please remember this is a limited stop for a limited time, so remember to gather all of your personal belongings, including your 3D glasses. You will need those 3D glasses once more for when you resume our tour. But thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to be signing off for the very last time. Just in case you don't see me again, my name is Trang. That's T-R-A-N-G if you loved it. And if you hated it, my name is Bruce the Shark. It's B-R-U-C-E. So, thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day here. We're going to wait for this
Get your backpack.
way so you can head on out and take some great photos. But yeah, watch your step as you exit our tram, and if you feel particularly attached to me, you are welcome to stay on board, but I do want to encourage you to take some great photos while you are out here. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Bye everyone. Thank you for hanging out.
Welcome everybody. Watch your step. Just take everything with you. If you'd like to
Thank you.
celebrate this way,
Bye.
Get your glasses. Get your glasses, Justin.
Yeah, we're just gonna go around. We're gonna make some
And this is me.
Friday.
So if you have space to move all the way over to your right hand side, it's going to be a great time to do so. Just
Justin.
Picture. Hollywood sign.
Excuse me.
You know how to do that? Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright, steady.
تعالي ماما مش احنا دول تعالي
Go for it. You want video?
Hollywood 2024.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
The umbrella. Juan, let me see your phone. Trade me for a minute. This is a live stream, just when you at something interesting.
My hand? You get in my hand. Live streaming. How's everybody? I don't know what she's doing. There's a car. It's supposed to be the Bates Motel. We got some mailboxes. We got some water fountains. The Collins experiment. Right, this is from Peter Pat Glitter Cat. Never seen it. Meters, parking meters. Meter Maid, Meter Jesse's World. Season 5, episode 4. This is the clock tower, Grandview. And this is from Tin Talk on the Clock, whatever that means. Barbecue pit from Still Life with Mark. More barbecue pits, trash cans, production light. Now these trams are very noisy, but we got the new electrical one, the little purple ones over there. That's what we were riding. If you're gonna do the show, do one of those because you can hear the lady talking. All right, we can switch it up.
Yes, sir.
Back to you.
Thank you. I wasn't talking earlier because we have obviously a host that's talking for us. The boys really liked the shark last time.
And also while we were waiting, this is a great time for any small children whose feet do not touch the ground into the center of your
The Grinch movie right here. Grinch. Taxi cabs. I don't know what that is. But for anyone who wants a QR code, you can scan that.
More, but Lex is asking.
About what, honey? Oh no, we're good. We can go. That's all I wanted. Is that the good trim? How do we know which one's the good trim? This is not it then.
If we get a red tram, can we wait for the purple one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why, you like the purple one?
They're so much better.
Quieter, I can rest.
And I don't know about you guys, but that King Kong thing was better.
Justin,
Or I don't know. Today I got like really I don't know.
No, there's
Maybe
one that's red.
maybe it's where I was sitting, but I got really thrown around today.
They're color coded though?
I got thrown around a lot too. It was hard for me to fall asleep.
I couldn't believe you were asleep.
Yeah, we're gonna go over there. No, this blocked off.
We still have to open the doors.
Can y'all go get our originals?
Bum rush. Go.
Hop on inside.
Make sure you slide all the way over to the right.
Jay, let me go first.
The row of the first car is not open. Not open.
Guys.
Justin, wait.
Check it.
Let me go first.
Smaller kiddos, please put towards the center of the row. We do have about 10 to 15 minutes left in this experience. And if you no longer have your 3D glasses, get the attention of your studio tour ambassador to the left. We'll be able to get you those.
Do you have your glasses? Jay, you have your glasses?
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie. Our driver's team will be with you for the remaining portion of the tour. This is the shark that was in the theme park. So if you have a picture of it when you were a kiddo, you can do a little side-by-side comparison. Who else got to go on Old Hot Banana Breath, the old King Kong attraction? Anyone else? Oh, I see. Oh, fun thing. I forgot to tell my other group. So, the Mummy Ride replaced King Kong in Orlando, and for us it replaced E.T. So, in the treasure rooms, they have a golden E.T. or King Kong statue about 10 inches tall, trying to find it. It's so hard. I've only ever seen it in videos, so we know it's there, but we just, can't place it right away. But theirs is King Kong, ours is E.T. And if you ever do join us for like horror nights and we use redwood trees, they're from the E.T. attraction. They smell the same and everything. Love it. Okay, we're getting our thumbs up, so we're gonna head out. Did you have a question?
Oh, nothing. Just saying hi.
Oh, hi. Let's say hi, actually, to someone else. We're very lucky at Universal to work with generation-defining directors, Hitchcock and Spielberg, but now we are proud to partner with Academy Award winner Jordan Peele.
I remember going to Universal Studios when I was 12 years old, feeling this feeling of wonder. One of my first trips to Universal Studios to see the Jaws ride. One of my favorite movies of all time. Just feeling like, that's it. That's Big Jaws. Like, I don't even know if that is Big Jaws. I hope it is. Sharing the space with Hitchcock and Spielberg, I couldn't be more proud.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
What is this?
That's a movie that they filmed here in this set that we're about to walk to drive you to.
Is
that a horror movie?
I think so,
It's
yeah.
filmed up in Santa Clarita, so a local project. The sets were production designed by Ruth DeHong. She was nominated for an Oscar this year for her production design of Oppenheimer, our big winner. And we're going to talk more about Nope. We're just having a bit of tram traffic. Let's talk about Oppenheimer. So, Oppenheimer was the first movie in 50 years to win Best Picture that filmed on the lot. Crazy, I know. The last time that we had a Best Picture winner that filmed here was The Sting with Robert Redford back in the 70s. But they filmed one scene here inside of Stage 19 where we have the Ted Danson series. And it was the Oval Office. Gary Oldman. That set of the Oval Office is the same one from Veep on HBO. They just rented it out. And that happens a lot where each studio will have one Oval Office. If you go into our prop house, there's one picture of every single president. You don't need more than one, right? Dean, we're going to have to hang tight right there, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Okay. I answered my own question. So coming forward a little bit more, Spielberg set, but also a Tom Cruise set. Over to your left, very boring area of Transpo, but that big blue screen is Falls Lake, the world's largest freestanding backdrop. In front of it, that empty basin can be filled up with water. Let me actually show you what that looks like in Sully with Tom Hanks. So, very often, they will add a set into the center. They built this plane, not a real one. It was being built during my training 10 years ago. And then they filled it up with water, boom, and the skyline, the buildings are CGI, but they did kind of add in the helicopter, and they had one Port Authority boat and digitally put it into different locations. But for Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick filmed over there, they had a giant gimbal system with the interior of a cockpit so they could get the close-up shots of the actors. Really cool. They were only here for about 3 or 4 days. And then also Christopher Nolan loves to film there. Inception, Dunkirk. I got a little sneaky with Dunkirk. I was working at VIP that day and we knew they were filming because VIP gets the more detailed call sheets. So I went to an undisclosed location, much like Steven Spielberg, and I was in my VIP uniform. I just watched them out here film for about 20 minutes until security kicked me out. But again, I was in my uniform, I didn't feel too bad. And it was really fun to watch and to see where the soldiers are being picked up out of the water and put onto the British sailing ships. So you have big battleships, sailing ships, and then these tiny little dinghies with the cameras on it. And the people that are on the main boats that are part of the crew have to stay on the boat because they're going to reset the pyro, reset props, set decoration, and they have to hide. Like literally behind a door while they're filming so that the camera doesn't get up. Think of Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, the guy in the cowboy hat that they caught. Continuity errors, yes. Let's get back though to Nope. Again, Academy Award nominated production designer, Academy Award winning screenwriter, stars Academy Award winner Daniel Kaluuya, Emmy winner Keke Palmer, and Golden Globe winner Stephen Yeun. Welcome to Jupiter's Claim.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim. The nostalgia, small time. Over there, look into the waking breath. Have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie.
You all did this. And that's what you're going to want when you're inside a theater as well. You know, where is this monster going to be coming from? Which direction? It's added in the post-production process with sound engineers, sound mixers. If they're creating a sound that's specific, that is known as a Foley artist, and they are named worked here at Universal. Jack Foley, originally a carpenter, then started adding in sound to movies, and then the whole job's named after him now. But for many years, this area of our backlot held an attraction with surround sound, and that was the Doomed Glacier Expedition, otherwise known as the Ice Tunnel, featured in $6 million man starring Lee Majors. Ode Andre the Giant was Bigfoot, and the tram would climb to an imaginary elevation of 12,000 feet, and of course the only way back was through this tunnel, and the slightest sound would trickle spin and tilt along with the guests. Right over here, they said they're willing to give us a shade for a hot second. But full disclosure, this is like a no street racer party hangout. I'm very reputable, guys. We're gonna be in for some of that Fast and Furious glasses on and teams.
You got yours?
Joy.
You have them?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I can see where the theater splits. The theater splits there and there, so everybody gets their own little piece. We're enclosed in like not parentheses, but you know, it's like it looks like a C, but it's stretched out. I don't know what it's called on either side. So the bus actually stops right on the traction gear thingy majiggy that bumps us up and down as we're moving. It feels like you're oh shit.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried! This is our turn. After them! Okay, guys, it's showtime! Hook him up! I got the bull by the horn! Now we're moving. Yeah, look out! You can be the witness to the open calling it day. I've got company! The witness is mine, Lenny! How about you eat asphalt? Don't think you're getting away! Come in their balls! Way to go, Lenny! Don't find another little shot! Not gonna happen! Don't worry, I got this! Woman, don't shoot! Head for the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold on! Hit the nitrous! Ride and die!
Ring it.
Just like that. Did you need to pull the cords?
Yes. Yes.
We're good. We're good. Yep, it was just a hat. Alright. Hey, that's okay. Perfect location. Glad that happens right here. Okay. Couple little Easter eggs that are in this ride since we're talking about the 60th and some stuff. Let's get outside a little bit more. So, in the second room, you don't need your 3D glasses because that's actually an old effect known as Pepper's Ghost. If you've been to the Haunted Mansion ride and seen the ghost dancing in the ballroom, same idea, newer HD film. Looks amazing. And then in the main room, the black trucks that the bad guys drive at the end are based on a truck that Paul Walker owned. So even though he couldn't be in the attraction, they still have one of his vehicles. And right now we are headed back towards the theme park. Let me give it over to Jimmy one more time. Jimmy got it!
Over the past 6 decades, the studio tour has taken guests on an amazing behind-the-scenes look at a movie studio in a way that only Universal can. I hope that you had a great time today. And on behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you all for joining us for 60 years of the studio tour. For 6 decades, we've given you an insider look into Hollywood from TV's first golden age to our current era of streaming and binge watching your favorite shows. No matter how much entertainment changes or how we experience it, we'll be here at the studio tour to show you how it's done. Our 60th anniversary is special to us because the studio tour is where it all started. For Universal destinations and experiences. From 2 glamour trams traveling around the studio lot in the summer of '64, we've developed into so much more, including 7 parks entertaining millions of guests every year, and the upcoming Universal Epic Universe opening in 2025. And we are approaching our unload area, so please make sure to gather all your personal belongings. Your 3D glasses can get tossed into the blue bins as you exit the tram and enjoy the rest of your day here. here
Take mine,
at
baby.
Universal Studios Hollywood, where we hope you've enjoyed
Put 'em together.
our exclusive behind-the-scenes experience that's been 60 years in the making. And as we say in the biz, that's a wrap. Hi everyone, have a great night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Give us a second. We're still stopping. Awesome. You have to get to the right spot. You guys are on an E-tram, so it has to be charging. We're charging up right now. They're coming over to get the door for you guys. Thank you for your patience. There are water bottle refill stations at the bathrooms. A larger set of bathrooms is upstairs as you exit the tour. Small set by the escalators.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie. Thank you.
I'm so glad that was done.
I saw it and I stepped on it during. Thank you. Sorry about that. Juan, can you grab this for 1 minute, please?
Speaking of charging, did you unplug the cigarette lighter up front?
I believe I did unplug that one.
You did, right?
I think so.
We should be all right.
Making me question it now. I don't know.
Make sure the vacuums are unplugged.
Woo! 2 and a 2.
Did y'all want any more photos around here? Y'all want to do a photo here?
Let's go to Mario World.
No? So do y'all want to do a photo here?
Do you want to go get Mario Kart written in and then
Yeah.
Transformers?
Sure. Let's do it. Mario Kart, Transformers, and then
Let me see Transformers.
if the wait time's less than 30, well, it doesn't matter. We can write it in either way. I don't care. Juan, can you hold this for 1 minute? I don't care about a photo here, but I do want
Photo op. Some of the wait times. Harry Potter 15. It's the
Wow. It just rang to me that we're going there. Hey, Mandy, I'm so excited. I could physically hit you.
And those are the electric trams, like I was saying. Much more quieter, you can hear the people talking. Transformers, I do not see. Oh, Transformers, 45-minute wait.
Amanda.
Slim line, not too much of a wait. It's kind of slow. Not a lot of people here today. Because it's slow, this is closed.
How long is your wait time for Mario Kart? Yeah, but if we get That was a genius castle! So that's what I'm saying.
It's when we go out.
Yeah, so let's go down to Mario Kart, get that, come back up to power. Mandy, can I mentally hurt you?
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hoop you guys enjoyed the backlot tour. Wait, that's not. This is the
other
Universal Studios Hollywood
The other backlot tour.
backlot tour. Studio tour. That's right. This one's called the Studio Tour because we actually saw the studios. The other one's backlot because we just see backlot, but it's not there anymore. So see y'all next time. Thank you.